Look at the back pages for you. It's a lot of focus on Pep Guardiola, obviously, looking a bit stressed on the sidelines last night. So the Sun going for disaster class. City winless in 6 as 3-goal lead is blown in 14 minutes. The Times going for chaotic City spurn 3-0 lead. Mirror blew it, which is quite a good one. And Daily Mail this morning, City hit a new low. So winless in 6. But then, these pictures of him on the sideline are fine. He obviously looks raging. But then he goes to post-match press conference afterwards. He's got a cut in his nose and his forehead.
Okay, he must have banged his head. I'm not having that.
He's scratched to bits.
I'm not having that.
It looks like he's been attacked by a stray cat. But he said he's done it to himself. So
I could see it happening. I said to Gabby when I was watching the game.
He said he wants to harm himself.
I watched him.
No, Alan, I'm telling you, he said to the reporters, I want to harm myself when he's watching that.
Well,
and he did. It's mental.
He was sitting with his head in his hands after I think the first goal for about a good period, must have been 30 seconds, and it was one of those you could tell, he was all over the place. And so were his defence, it has to be said.
And the press do ask him about it. Some of the pictures just show how much he's been clawing at his old face. Doesn't work for radio, but I'll have a look at that. Cool. Hello. Over there.
Sorry, I was. He's got a little bit. I don't know. Maybe he's gone down with something. I'm not having a scratch.
Coming down with the old CUT-OF-THE-FACE-ALITUS. Yeah. What are you talking about?
I've seen heads like that before. He's banged his head putting a shelf up.
Poor Pep. Anyway, let's focus on Jude Bellingham because he's also making the papers today.
Oh, what's happening now?
Right, so Charlie Wyatt, back page of the Sun. Jude, I felt like a scapegoat. Jude Bellingham claims he was made a scapegoat for England, failing to win Euro 2024. He done this presser for Real yesterday, and here's how it went.
I've got to be honest, I think I lost my smile a lot after the Euros when it came to playing for England because of, I don't know, I felt like I was a little bit mistreated in comparison to what I contributed. I felt like some of it was a bit harsh on me. I think I felt a bit like the scapegoat. Maybe I was feeling a little bit sorry for myself, and I think that camp with a lot of new faces really brought out the joy in my game again. I think you could see that in the 2 games, but in general I hadn't lost my smile in the Madrid shirt. Obviously I'm annoyed when we lose, and I get frustrated and I get upset when we lose, but it's never a case of not being happy. I'm the luckiest lad in the world. I get to play week in, week out for the biggest club in the world and represent my country. So yeah, I think that was more to do with a little bit of how I was treated on the back of the Euros. But smile is back.
Good. You got used to it, Jude. They build you up, and then wallop, they hammer you.
When will they change that approach?
I think that was good.
It was refreshing.
I don't think I have a problem with that. Absolutely. He said he felt he got a little bit, which he did get, goes to the territory.
Well, Harry was getting as well, wasn't he?
Of course he was. Absolutely. And then he came out and said, listen to him there, he said, I was probably feeling a little bit sorry for myself. So he's been critical of himself as well. I don't have a problem with that. I think that sounded quite good, actually.
And Mbappe as well, he's getting pelters.
They'll get it at that level. Everybody gets it.
It's like a case of get used to it. Yeah. The only thing is that, he kind of was made a scapegoat. I mean, there wouldn't be in a final if it weren't for Jude Bellingham, and then he's also it feels like sometimes picked on at the same time. But
I think there's an element of that happens when you play for England because of the expectancy, or should I say sometimes the over expectancy. And I think when they don't win a tournament, some of the media and perhaps some of the fans just look for somebody or something. And I just think that's the way it goes. That's what happens.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it's right, but I just think that's what happens. But he's a big enough boy to handle it.
Yeah, of course he will.
He should go on and be the captain, right? I mean, if Harry Kane isn't starting each game come 2026 or finishing, I mean, Jude Bellingham, is he the natural replacement, do you think, for Harry Kane as captain?
I think I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I think Harry Kane probably get more stick than Jude in the Euros, and I think
without a doubt.
I probably think that was we're all experts. I think that was one of Gareth's mistakes. I don't think Harry's form merited him the starts that he was getting, And I think
it's difficult one, Ali. Like, you've managed to, do you take that decision and say, look, how can I take him off? What he's done for his country and club. What would I do?
But I
I
think
did not start him, but you
got to.
Yeah.
You got to, mate.
Interesting.
And at that particular time, Palmer was the one that was coming on, making the difference. Gordon was looking lively. Watkins, you look at a lot of times in major tournaments, guys come from nowhere and have great tour. I remember Scalacci in 1990 World Cup, who sadly just passed away.
Hat-trick, was it?
Yeah, just came from nowhere, bang. And you get guys like that. So I think I definitely think, looking back, that was a big mistake.
Okay, so some cracking games tonight. By the way, I've just watched the goals. There were some goals at Easter Road.
What a game that was!
Goal,
Aberdeen went 3-2 up, I think, at about 90th minute or something, and Hibs equalised.
Yeah, and
they needed that, dear me.
Yeah. So Aberdeen, they'll be kicking themselves, won't they?
Still undefeated, I think, in the league. I mean, you boys gave them a right going over in the League Cup, but in the league they've been great. But and I'm not deflecting, right? But what about Hibs? What about Hibs and Hearts?
You keep saying that. You keep going, what about Edinburgh, though? You're absolutely deflecting.
I am not deflecting.
What's your third on the table?
So big deal. I've mentioned it.
Oh, right, okay.
I've mentioned it. Right, what's the big deal? Right, we're over.
Hibs and Hearts.
That is absolutely unacceptable. Hibs and Hearts been bottom and second bottom of the league.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Okay, stop winding them up, Shebahn.
I'm kidding, Ali.
Coming up, we'll continue to discuss City and what Pep needs to do to turn it around. If you want your say, 0371 722 3344.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.